Okay, fifth grade. So today we're going to continue with our metal pictures and we're going to start doing our New York City skyline, which as you can see, I've changed it up a little bit, made it a little bit easier. So you're going to need the picture, your cardboard, your metal, one of these tools, which is called a stylus. It has a flat bottom part and pointy end here, pencil, and your piece of tape. Okay, tape should be stuck to your table. What you're going to do is you are going to have the silver side of the metal pointing up at you. Okay? And you're going to put your picture on there with a little bit of metal on both sides. Here and here. Tear your tape in half. Stick the picture to the metal. Like so. And first, we're going to actually kind of draw the picture. So we're going to need our pencil first. And some of these little zigzags, we're going to smooth those out because they are just too tiny. So if you look at this one right here, this is a cathedral in Manhattan, which is part of New York City. In fact, all these buildings except for the Statue of Liberty are in Manhattan. So you are simply going to press pretty hard and begin to trace the buildings, smoothing out some of these zigzags as you go. Now, some of them are definitely big enough that you can do, and then others you're just going to have to smooth them out. Try not to get off of the lines. Work your way across the paper. Now, with the Statue of Liberty, you do want to get some of those lumps and bumps in there because she has a lot of texture in her clothing. And then don't forget to do your clouds. So you want to pause the video, and that's the first step that you need to take care of. And you can always check that you've got everything by looking at the back and flipping it forward and seeing if everything's there. Okay? Now, hopefully you've unpaused and you are now seeing the next step, which is you're going to remove your picture carefully. Okay? And on top of the cardboard, you're going to begin to push out the clouds and the buildings. And you're going to do this with the flat part of this stylus tool. And you're just going to keep working all that metal, trying not to lose the shape of your buildings as best as your hands can do. You can go over it a couple times to really get them to stick out the other side. Okay? You can always have the picture to look at as a reference. Now, sometimes some of the lines look like they kind of get lost. But just do your best to keep finding where you need to push down. And essentially you're doing all the buildings nice and hard, all the way across. Sometimes you might have to use the point to get in the little spots. Like that. And go back to using the wider flat bottom part. So that is your next step. Remember, bigger areas, use the back of the tool. It works a lot better than using the tip, because the tip likes to get caught in the metal sometimes and it's annoying. So go ahead and take care of going over all your buildings and clouds. Okay, so now that I've got all my buildings pushed out, okay, let me flip this over. And now I'm going to chase after the part in between all the buildings. And I'm going to actually push that down the opposite direction. So basically, anywhere where I didn't work, I'm going to use my tool to kind of get in there and make the buildings pop out even more. Being very careful along these edges, not to get your finger against it and cut yourself. Okay? And you're going to keep doing this all throughout the sky, except for the clouds. Don't do the clouds. And try not to lose any of your little pointy bits that are at the top of the skyscrapers either. That's important. So, if you would like to stop the video and do this step, you can. You are going to, when you're finished, come up front, get a Sharpie, a black Sharpie, and you're going to write your name on the silver side someplace. And that is our lesson for today. Make sure you turn it in when you are finished. Remember to stay away from the edges of the metal so you do not cut yourself. See that mine is now done. And while it isn't exactly like the picture, you can still kind of see what it is, and that it has these different images of New York City on it.